Hello, welcome back to the music channel. I know I keep saying I'll post videos and then I never do, but today I'm going to be taking a look at some recent music pickups that I made within the past week or so, and be probably making another news related story next week on Slipknot or something, or just whatever. So there's a couple of stores that sell music. There's one store that sells exclusively music, kind of like an underground used record store, which I absolutely like going to. The guy sells like CDs, cassettes, 8-tracks, and records, but mostly CDs and records. Has a few cassettes, a couple boxes of cassettes, and then like a shelf or two for 8-tracks. So like 90% of his sales come from, 90% of his sales I think come from mostly CDs and vinyl records. So I'm gonna go ahead and sort of show what I picked up. First one is and then the other one is just Newbury Comics, which I think are a lot of places. So they sell a lot of new music, mostly. They have a lot of vinyls, CDs, very few cassettes, but they still do have some good music. But they sell mostly new stuff on CD and vinyl, whereas the other place mainly focuses in older music from like the 70s and 80s, maybe a little bit of 90s sprinkled in with a few dash of early 2000s, but nothing really new or recent is sold there. So the first CD we picked up at that store is Rage Against the Machine, and I like this album. I like Rage Against the Machine. This is Epic Associated, or maybe that's the label that produced it, but this is, Epic Associated. I think maybe this is just self-titled, but it's that one, if you're wondering. I'm not really too familiar with Rage Against the Machine's albums. I really enjoy their music, and I think they're a good band. They have a good message. Next is Fozzy, All That Remains. Picked this up mostly for irony more than anything, because it's that guy, that one dude who's in the WWE, Chris Jericho. So that's mostly why I picked it up, was just for irony. I mean, Fozzy is a good band. They have some good songs, but I think you have to be into that sort of stuff in order to like Fozzy. Next is a album from Primus. This is the brown album, although it's more gold. There's really nothing on the outside of the album to kind of give away what it is or who it is until you open it up and see the CD. I recently got into Primus a few months ago. I think Les Claypool is a very interesting person, and somebody once turned me on to the Claypool Lennon Delirium, which is a fantastic musical group. If you have not listened to them, with Les Claypool and Sean Lennon, John Lennon's kid. And last is Slatanic Slaughter, which is a Slayer cover band. They do it's basically Slayer, but I think they're more so heavier than Slayer. Yeah, they definitely have a heavier sound to them than Slayer does. Compared to Slayer, the sound is a lot heavier. So we're gonna move on to actually a couple of cassettes that I picked up there. So as for cassettes, we have Stone Free, a tribute to Jimi Hendrix, and this features Purple Haze, or The Cure, Eric Clapton, Spin Doctors, Buddy Guy, Body Count, and many other bands doing a tribute to Jimi Hendrix. And I picked this up because I really like Jimi Hendrix. I think he was a fantastic guitarist, fantastic musician, and an all-around amazing person. And it's really unfortunate that we lost him, but we have all of his music to listen to, and I don't know, I think he was a good musician, and I think he was a good musician. That's pretty much all I have to say about him. I liked him a lot. And this Tesla, picked this up. It's a five-man acoustical jam, and it's interesting to say the least. I'm all for finding new music that I've never listened to and that I've never heard before, and Tesla is certainly one of those bands that I've never heard of, or one of those groups that I've never heard of before. And then we go on to the newer sort of music that I picked up, and newer is sort of a term that I use very lightly in that regard, because the first we have a Metallica cassette, and this is And Justice for All. This is a digital remaster of And Justice for All. Comes with this digital download card right here. I'm not going to show you the code because I actually might, not the full code anyways, because I actually might want to download this myself. If I don't, I'll give the code away. If I do, then whatever. So it's basically Metallica's And Justice for All, just remastered and put onto a cassette. So that is what I mean by new in sort of air quotes. And then we have Lamb of God, who is actually going on tour with Slayer, and they might be having, I think it's a Slayer tour with Lamb of God, and they might be having Primus like fill out the remainder of their shows. I think that's what I heard. The artwork on the CD is pretty interesting, as well as on the front cover of the jewel case, or the little booklet, not necessarily the jewel case, but this is their album Philadelphia, which I'm assuming Lamb of God is from Philadelphia, and they named this album Philadelphia, kind of like how Slipknot named their first album Iowa, or one of their first albums Iowa. And then last but not least, we have Meliora from one of my favorite bands, Ghost. Actually, you guys know that already. This is their third studio album. Their third album, yeah, their third studio album. And this is one that I've been meaning to get. I've started collecting Ghost albums. I have all of them on vinyl. The most recent one that I picked up was Opus Eponymous, their first album. I have Opus, Infestessumam, Meliora, their live album Ceremony and Devotion. I think I even have their EP, If You Have Ghost, which actually I still need to get that on CD. So I don't have them all, but I have most of them. I think I also need Ceremony and Devotion on CD too. I think. I'm not too sure. but then I'll start collecting them all on cassette, and then I'll have all of them, and have them all digitally as well. I have a problem, but you know, I don't really care. So thank you guys for watching this video, and rock on in the free world.